Thank you.
Pleasure in declaring this degree congregation and award ceremony open. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Roy Darby and I chair the Governing Council of the University. On behalf of the Council, it is my privilege and great pleasure to welcome you all to this most happy occasion. My first welcome is naturally to all of you here today who are about to receive degrees and awards. Very well done and many congratulations on your achievements. Welcome also to all your family and friends who have come along to share in your success. I hope that you all have a truly wonderful day of celebration. May I also give a warm welcome to all the faculty staff who are here today and who have contributed so much to all the successes that we are celebrating. Our honoured guests include some of my fellow governors, senior members of our community from educational, civic and business backgrounds, and other supporters and friends of the faculty. To you all, a most warm welcome. On my immediate right is Phil Dudderidge, our principal guest and our keynote speaker. Phil, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us. We greatly look forward to your address. On my far right is Professor Ruth Farwell, Vice-Chancellor of the University, who will shortly also welcome you and will make the awards. On my left is Professor Chris Kemp, Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Executive Dean of the Faculty of Design, Media and Management. Professor Kemp will make the closing address at the end of the ceremony. Vice-Chancellor, will you now please confer the degrees of Buckinghamshire New University and receive candidates for other awards.
To our distinguished guests, to our partners, members of council, the university and the local community, to parents, family members and friends, and most especially to our graduating students, welcome to the Bucks Award Ceremonies 2011. This ceremony focuses on the awards being made to the successful students completing courses and research programs in engineering, information and communication technologies, film, television, audio and music production, creative writing and journalism. Ceremonies are about celebration, a celebration of the achievements of our graduates and of their teachers, families and friends who've supported them through their studies. What we're about to engage in is a tradition going back many centuries. Because of this, there's a certain formality to the proceedings. We wear gowns, we have a procession and speeches, but it's not just about doing these things because that's what's always happened. It's also about marking the day as special and significant. After all, there aren't that many opportunities when you, the graduating students, can bask in the limelight and congratulate yourselves on what you've achieved. Graduating students, it's your day, make the most of it. The best degree ceremonies are a careful blend. On the one hand, they've an element of formality, as I've just said. On the other, it's about having a good time and celebrating. So throughout the ceremony, don't hold back in demonstrating your appreciation of the graduating student successes. Let's all make sure that they graduate in style. We want it to be a day that everyone remembers. Why don't we start off with families and friends and the other guests giving the graduating students a round of applause to indicate how well we think they've done to get through all the hard work over the last few years, to complete their studies, often under quite difficult circumstances, and to be here today to receive their awards. Will you join me? I hope what we've just done and how we approach this ceremony symbolises for you your time at Bucks. Yes, there's been a formal side to your studies and the way we do things, but also I hope you enjoyed your time with us and you found it to be a friendly place. True friends don't always get things right, even though they might try really hard, but they have a sticking power and they'll help you to the last. I hope that you think of Bucks like that. You will always be Bucks graduates, and that means we can help you and be a resource for you in the future. You can use our Careers and Employment Service for up to 2 years after graduation, and you're always welcome to get in touch to help progress your career goals. That brings me to a rather difficult subject, future employment. This theatre is bursting with a sense of success and achievement today. Despite that, I expect there's also a bit of nervousness in the air, nervousness at the prospect of what lies ahead in terms of careers and how your existing careers might progress if you're already in work. Earlier in the summer, there were headlines in the media indicating that the number applying for each graduate job has nearly doubled in the last 2 years of the recession. Those reports were based on a survey by the Association of Graduate Recruiters, one they do twice a year, of graduate employment prospects. What the headlines tend not to focus on was the cautious optimism that the report generated, which was because the number of vacancies for graduates rose by 3% during the year. This can only be a good sign that the graduate recruitment market appears to be overcoming the impact of the recession. You should also be aware that this survey is based on responses from the largest graduate recruiters. These big recruiters are not the full story. The vast majority of graduates don't get jobs with these companies and never have. Just because some employers don't have a graduate recruitment programme doesn't mean to say that they aren't looking for graduates. Most graduates work for smaller organisations in the private, public and not-for-profit sector, and some graduates, particularly from universities like Bucks, are entrepreneurial and work for themselves. There are reasons to be cheerful. Your degree has provided you with the kind of flexibility and open-mindedness about what comes next, and the skills to deal effectively with whatever that might be. You'll need to be proactive to find the openings. You'll need to have the persistence, the self-belief, and the creativity to think laterally, being prepared to start not doing exactly quite what you'd hoped. The skills that you've acquired from your degree and also the various other activities that you've engaged with while you've been a student will increase your employability. You need to be able to promote effectively these skills when you're putting together your application for a job or for funding to start your own business or support your own practice. And when you're being interviewed, I do encourage you to get professional advice about how best to do this. At this stage, I would urge you to hold your nerve. Your investment in your degree is an investment in your future life and your future career. Compared with what lies before you, the period of economic problems is a relatively minor blip. You'll get to where you really wanted to be before too long. But do remember that you also need to invest in putting your talents across as best you can. Whatever you go on to do, I hope you think that your time at Bucks was extremely important in shaping your life positively, and that you will feel proud of being a Bucks graduate. We are certainly proud of you, and all of us at Bucks wish you every success and happiness in your life and career. The best of luck to you all. We will now start the presentation of the awards.
Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the students of the university who have received the award of Doctor of Philosophy of Brunel University.
I'm delighted to confirm on behalf of Senate that the research degrees of Brunel University have been conferred.
For research into distributed adaptive e-assessment in a higher education environment, Xiaobin Lin. For research into an examination of the impact of e-business evolution within small and micro businesses, John McCarthy. Vice-Chancellor, we present to you the persons here today and those graduating in absentia to be admitted to the degrees of Master of Science, Master of Engineering, Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science and Foundation Degree Science.
By virtue of my authority as Vice-Chancellor and on behalf of Senate, I admit them to their degrees.
We also present to you those receiving the awards of Diploma of Higher Education, Higher National Certificate and Certificate of Higher Education. Master of Science in Applied Computing, Philip Jones. Master of Science in E-Business, Kaiser Nazir. Master of Science in Telecommunications and Network Management, Naveed Ahmed. Mustafa Ali. Mohammed Fahad. Olarunki Alori. Peter Kessie. Aaron Mirapali. Satish Nadi. Rajesh Panam. Marina Padyal. Osmani Ptore. Hanif Ullah. Venkata Vitla. And Mohammed Hussain. Bachelor of Arts in Audio and Music Production, Matthew Paul Buckley. Sandar Roderick Iland. Scott Anthony Jennings. Daniel George Leggett. Samuel William Major. Joseph Merritt Esfandiari. Robert Morgan. Oyedei Kolade Ogunsuzi. Also receiving both the Sennheiser Prize for Best Audio Recording of the Year and the Focusrite Prize for Best Audio Recording of the Year 2010-11, Nicholas Perry. Stephen James Reynolds. Lee Story. Also receiving both the Sennheiser Prize for Best Audio Recording of the Year and the Focusrite Prize for Best Audio Recording of the Year 2010-11, Liam Daniel Tillier. Also awarded the prize for the most distinguished performance in a dissertation, Nazeeb Viku. Peter Donald Waterman. William Jones. And Renee Olsen. Bachelor of Science in Business Information Technology, Kasir B. Sajja Havis. Imran Khan. Ifsal Nazar. And Humaira Siddiqui.
Bachelor of Science in Computing, Akash Ajikumar. Will Benjafield. Ben Chapman. Imran Hussain. Ryan Kevin Molyneux. Tapia Musundire. Fleury Daragumiji. Oscar Njumbe. Vandana Parmar. Kassan Pereira. Kalyan Rai. Amardeep Sharma. Jashinpreet Singh. Russell Unu. Tanya Anand. Leon Mulder. Matthias Bekoian. Foundation degree Science in Computing, Sam Wadia. Shazaib Arshad. Higher National Certificate in Computing, Thomas Marr. Bachelor of Arts in Creative Writing, Safia Fatima Ahmed. Matthew Fothergill. Maria Krupa. Bachelor of Arts in Creative Writing and English Literature, Jocelyn Ruth Andrews. Bachelor of Arts in Digital Animation and Interactive Design, Colin Anthony Beale. Marwan El Gamal. Jakub Inerowitz. Weng Lon Leong. David Charles Letts. Caroline Margaret Lofts. Vasil Edward Lupu. Katrina Merchant-Stevens. Charlotte Richardson. Bachelor of Science in Digital Games Design, Tomasz Schubach. Jonathan Anthony Heritage. Alexei Lundgaard.
Bachelor of Arts in Film and Television Production, Jumoke Adebanjo. Christopher Alexander. Michael Chung. Paul Childs. Emma Louise Cobham-Drummy. Chris Conway. Carla Charisse Elaine Daly. Thomas Day. Christian Elderfield. Lee Farrell. Helen Grigg. Sarah Elizabeth Harry. Joshua Lewin. Lee James Henry Lauren. Agnieszka Mazurek Pereira. Lisa Newbury. Titileo Ogunbamowo. Daniel Pullinger. Nicholas Ramsey. Jessica Faye Renault. David Riley. Eleanor Jane Rowe. Josh Scipio. Lydia Jane Wood. Ashley Emma Wright. Bachelor of Science in Games Development, Philip Bateman. Dean Butler. Isabel Marie Grace Hawley. Yasser Shafi. Joseph Snook. And Jamie Winwood.
Bachelor of Arts in Journalism, Kirsty Lee Brooks. Sarah Elizabeth Gurney. Tony Honey. Tracy Nicole Kiriango. Kirsty Louise Maddock. Vernia Mengo. Nicole Mudenyo. Artur Ozinski. Lucia Payne. Also awarded the prize for the most distinguished performance on an undergraduate programme, Candy Jane Stallard. Richard Stittard. Also awarded the prize for the most distinguished performance in the dissertation, Joanna Maria Strepanowska. Emma Thierry. Lawrence Michael Wood. Trishna Thakrar. Bachelor of Science in Network Security and Management, Joseph Manamo. John Rayner Marshall. Kalim Maroof. Matthew James Taylor. Bachelor of Arts in Performing Arts, Film, TV and Stage, Victoria Coxall. Christopher Jones. Carly Lewis. Helen Mayle. Francesca Lucia Osimani. Alexa Danielle Mason. Roxanne Simone Ricketts. Bachelor of Science in Web Development. Also awarded the prize for the most distinguished performance in an undergraduate programme, Natalie Emery. Fakir Abdul Fakir. Also awarded the prize for the most distinguished performance in dissertation, Stephen Mark Green. Soiful Islam. Adnam Yaqub Khan. Talal Shafi.
Master of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering Design, Richard Robert Bertie. James Forty. Also winner of the Institute of Engineering Group Award, Neil Jeffrey Harris. Paul Richard Matthews. Randeep Raitt. Also winner of the Institute of Engineering Group Award, Philip Michael Turney. Winner of the Institute of Engineering Group Award and also awarded the prize for the most distinguished performance in a dissertation, Herbert Keith Winning. Bevan Yadif. Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering Design, David Scott Buchan. Paul Stephen Carlson. Dominic Chomowski. Jonathan Howard Cole. Mark Anthony Hoare. Winner of the Institute of Engineering Individual Award for undergraduate and also awarded the prize for the most distinguished performance on an undergraduate program, Tim Macy. Craig Stephen Moss. Paul Stephen Ritchie Hine. Tichatonga Sanyanga. Cassie Sutton. Jan Eric Ulf. Anthony Williams. Paul Worley. Awarded the Higher National Certificate in Mechanical Engineering, Tosin Alabi. Foundation degree in Science and Engineering, John David Copping. Dermot Francis John Nolan. Terence White. Mono Rimi Olivodi dos Santos, BSc in Digital Animation. BA Honours in Digital Animation and Interactive Design, Modub Alvara Timi Olgame Johnston. MSc in Telecommunications and Network, Kishori Philly. The Dean will now introduce the special awards.
It is my privilege to be able to make awards to academic members of staff who students feel have inspired them during their time here at Bucks New University. These awards are based solely on the testimonials provided by graduating students sitting here today. I would like to thank all the students who submitted nominations. Although there are many who are worthy of this award, the following colleagues will receive the Most Inspiring Tutor Award today. Could the award winners please come forward to centre stage to receive your awards from the Vice-Chancellor? Warren Bassett. Tim Cool. Mike Everett. And Kevin Marr. The head of school will now present the first honorary award.
Steve Levine began his music production career as a trainee tape operator at CBS Studios in 1975. He soon progressed to being the in-house sound engineer, working with numerous classic new wave and punk acts, including The Clash, The Jags, The Vibrators and XTC. Bruce Johnson from the Beach Boys played an important part in his early career, culminating in Steve producing the album Sounds of the Summer for the band several years later. Steve also produced all of Culture Club's classic hits and the band's 3 multi-platinum albums in the 80s. Since then, he has worked with a wide spectrum of artists and composed numerous film scores. Steve has collected a number of prestigious awards in recognition of his production work, including a Brit Award for Producer of the Year, a Music Week Top Singles Producer Award, and a Grammy Award for his work with soul and gospel singer Denise Williams. Earlier this year, Steve won a prestigious Bronze Sony Radio Academy Award for his work on The Record Producers, a radio documentary series which focused on the art of record production from the producer's perspective. His radio production company, Magnum Opus Broadcasting, formed with Radio 2 broadcaster Richard Ellison, has also produced a number of documentary programs. Steve has appeared on many radio and TV shows and is a regular guest on BBC's Six Music. He's still busy producing exciting new bands from his own label, Hubris Records, with the first release coming from the band Six Day Riot. He is a regular guest speaker at various pro-audio seminars for companies such as Yamaha, Korg, Apple Computers, and presents production masterclasses at the Apple Store in London. Steve is currently a director of the Performing Rights Society, the Mechanical Copyright Protection Society, the British Songwriters and Composers Academy, and UK Music. He is also the chairman of the Music Producers Guild and is author of 2 highly successful publications, Hit Kit and The Art of Downloading Music. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Steve Levine, who is to receive the award of Honorary Doctor in recognition of his outstanding business credentials, his influence on the university's music industry programmes, and the invaluable support he's given to the university over the years.
On behalf of the Senate and the Council of Buckinghamshire New University, I am delighted to confer the award of Honorary Doctor of the University on Steve Levine.
Well, Fraser, thank you so much for this, and thank you, Bucks, for this honour. I've now been made a doctor, which is quite impressive, because when I left school in 1975, these kind of facilities just weren't available, so I was pretty much at a loose end. I absolutely knew that I wanted to be, at the time, a sound engineer, but then realised I wanted to be a record producer, and there just weren't the courses available. So I had to learn my craft on the job. But as Fraser mentioned in the address, that was a change in the music industry. It was the beginning of the punk generation, and it taught me some incredibly valuable lessons that, although I learnt my craft from very, very experienced sound engineers and producers of the day, it taught me to be innovative and really break the rules. And you've all been given a very high standard of education here, but when you go into the real world, the key is to try and be innovative, not copy everyone else, and try and think about doing things differently, because that's what the punk generation did. They sort of tore the rule book up and really changed the way they made records, which has a lasting impact to this day. And from those foundations, I learnt my craft. So I'm really, truly honoured to have this, and thank you very much indeed.
Professor Ioan Vasile Abrudan is the Dean of the Faculty of Silviculture and Forest Engineering at Transylvania University, Brașov, Romania. Following his initial education in Romania, Ioan Abrudan earned a PhD in forestry at Brunel University in 1998 and settled down to an active, eventful and productive career. He has since lived an extraordinarily varied and exemplary life as a lecturer, scientist, international consultant and PhD supervisor. Using his great intellectual prowess and extensive knowledge of world forestry affairs, Professor Abrudan has strongly defended biodiversity and forest ecosystems in Romania, his home country, in Europe and the wider world. Professor Abrudan's publications, be they books, course material, scientific articles, or consultancy reports, continue to be an expression of the voice of the scientist in Eastern Europe and an exposition of the relationship between forest conservation and local communities in Romania and Europe. He has written over 100 scientific articles, and many of his critical works have become cited records of national and international eco-political events. Professor Abrudan's long and meritorious academic career has endeared him to the global community of academic and professional bodies. His outstanding scientific works and involvement at international level have also earned him admiration and honours from many universities, public and private institutions and governments, not only in Romania, but all over the world. This recognition includes the award of an honorary degree by the Banat University of Agricultural Sciences and Veterinary Medicine in Timișoara, Romania, and the award of Forest Engineer of Honour from the Technical University of Madrid. Professor Abrudan is chair of the Conference of Deans and Directors of European Forestry Faculties and Schools. He has led or participated in 49 national and international research and technical assistance projects, of which 10 were in partnership with Bucks New University. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Ioan Vasile Abrudan, an honorary professorship of this university in recognition of his professional and academic expertise within the field of forestry management and conservation.
On behalf of the Senate and the Council of Buckinghamshire New University, it gives me great pleasure to confer an honorary professorship of the university on Ioan Abrudan.
Chanda Vastev has had a varied career in physics, finance and IT. He set up Iron IT Limited in 1995 in High Wycombe, having previously worked for Xerox Europe, where he became well acquainted with the challenges that businesses face. The company now has an impressive list of customers and clients in the UK and around the world, including names such as Cable and Wireless, Reuters and Xerox, and covering sectors including telecommunications, local government, business services, healthcare and construction. Iron IT was named as a high-growth company by the Sunday Times in 2001, and various other awards have followed. The company prides itself on continuous innovation, delivering value to its customers, and developing its employees. Chanda was originally from the town of Bajwara in the district of Hoshiarpur in the Punjab, India. He has been a member of the university's governing council and continues to support the university through the development of links with institutions in India and by providing work experience opportunities for our students. In fact, you might describe his work for the university as that of an ambassador. I'm very grateful for his activities in that context. Chanda has a passion for the acquisition of knowledge and supports this process when and where he can. He believes that our national competitiveness depends on the education and skills development of every young person in the country. He is particularly interested in the transfer of skills between the public sector and small businesses, and represents the ICT interests of a number of local companies. He has been a director of the Buckinghamshire Economic and Learning Partnership, now Buckinghamshire Business First, and of Wickham 4C, a brokerage service that serves to match socially responsible businesses with voluntary sector requirements. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you Chanda Vastev, who is to receive an honorary fellowship of the university in recognition of his business success and his support and links with the university, including membership of the University Council over recent years.
On behalf of the Senate and the Council of Buckinghamshire University, I'm absolutely delighted to confer an honorary fellowship on Chanda Vastev.
This concludes the presentation of awards.
It gives me great pleasure now to introduce you to our guest speaker for this afternoon. At the tender age of 17, Phil Dudderidge had his first real taste of the music industry working as a roadie and chauffeur. This was an opportunity that came after meeting record producer and band manager Joe Boyd, famous for his work with acts including Pink Floyd, Nick Drake and Fairport Convention. Over the next few years, Phil freelanced as a sound engineer with various bands, including Pete Brown and the Battered Ornaments and Soft Machine. He went on to spend a year working with High Watt Amplification, building professional PA systems whilst working as the in-house engineer at the London's Roundhouse. In 1970, an introduction to Charlie Watkins, the owner of Wem PA, resulted in an amazing opportunity to work as the first dedicated sound man for Led Zeppelin, with tour dates across Europe and the US. In 1971, Phil formed his first company, RSD, which specialised in building custom PA systems for bands, including Roy Wood's Wizard and Steve Harley's Cockney Rebel. In 1973, he left RSD to form Soundcraft, a company that specialises in mixing consoles for live and sound recording applications. He also owned live sound company Europa Concert Systems, who catered mainly for American bands touring Europe. In '89, Phil acquired the assets of Focusrite Limited, devoted his energies to building the marketing and brand awareness of the company and developing a strategic relationship with leading audio manufacturer DigiDesign. Phil is currently chairman of the company and more recently has acquired the assets of Novation Electronic Music Systems, with the Novation brand becoming integrated into the business. Phil and Focusrite have had a long-term partnership with the audio music production courses at Bucks, and we're delighted with the introduction of the annual sponsor prize for Best Audio Recording of the Year in 2009, an award that you've seen presented just earlier in today's ceremony. We are thrilled that Phil has agreed to be our guest speaker, and hopefully we've got a short video clip which will act as by way of an introduction before he comes up to address you.
Well, there's an introduction for you. I actually had nothing to do with that particular performance, but 2 months later, I was roughly in this proximity to the band, mixing the show from the side of the stage, initially in Europe, and then taken to the States to work on a tour there. And I was 21. I was probably the same age as many of you here. I'd been working since I was 17, as Fraser mentioned in his introduction, and had sort of worked my way up through the, well, not exactly the ranks, but from driving the band to setting up the equipment and finally getting a job as the sound engineer, which I'd never done before, but I said, you know, I had this sort of can-do attitude of, yeah, I can do that, and then figuring it out along the way. So why would I give up a job like that? Well, I did it for about 3 months, and at the end of which, at the end of the American tour, I was half dead, and felt that there had to be an easier way of making a living. But actually, what really inspired me was in the American tour was discovering massive PA systems, the like of which we had never seen in Europe at that time. To give you an idea, that venue was, in the clip, was the Albert Hall. Typical European venues would be 2,000-seat theatres. We went to the States and we were playing in arenas, 15,000 to 20,000-seat arenas, which was just a completely different dimension. And the PA systems needed to be much larger to accommodate that. Now, some of this might not be so interesting to you non-music orientated students, but I think that everybody in this room has probably been to a concert, a festival, and seen the massive PA stacks either side of the stage or suspended from the roof in an arena. And I was right at the beginning of that process of bringing massive PA systems into Europe. And really I had no qualification to do any of that, but nor did anybody else. So it was, you know, it was just a matter of really trying to have the best equipment to get the best results from mixing a show. I never worked in studios, although I've been involved very much in producing studio equipment over the years. The relevance of all this to you, I hope, is to suggest that at your age, you may have a very clear idea of what you want to do, or you may have absolutely none. You may have studied music production with an ambition of having a career in music production, or simply for the joy of it. Either way, what you've studied here, and I'm speaking to all you graduates, by the way, I congratulate all of you on your degrees, and I wish, like Steve, that I'd had that same sort of opportunity back then. But yeah, what I say to all of you is that now is the beginning of the rest of your life. You have got not only the benefits of your education here and your education to date, but you've also got what it takes in your heart, in your body and mind. And you can decide what you want to be and you can go for it. I didn't know what I wanted to do. It had to evolve through the first few years of my adult life until things took shape and I started my first business. Now, somebody mentioned earlier about career opportunities right now. There are career opportunities out there. You may well already have found yourself your first job postgraduate. But you may be wondering, what am I going to do now? The reality of having to actually support yourself, become financially independent is a real challenge. And, I know this. I have 6 adult children myself and I've seen them all through that process. And I think what I would say to you is, if you can't find a job, make one. Employ yourself. Find something which somebody else needs and wants and provide it as a product, as a service. There's a whole world of market opportunities out there in every field, be it music, be it computing, anything. So there's no reason to be unemployed. If you can't find a job, make one. And really on that note, I'd just like to wish you every success in your careers. I admire you hugely and wish you good luck.
Vice-Chancellor, Chairman of the University Council, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, as Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Executive Dean of the Faculty, it is my privilege and pleasure to conclude this afternoon's proceedings by thanking those who've made today's ceremony possible. I would like to thank the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Ruth Farwell, for not only awarding the university degrees and diplomas, but also for her support of and faith in this faculty over the past year. Roy Darby, the Chairman of the University Council, who opened the proceedings this morning, thank you for your continued confidence in the work of this faculty. The faculty is honoured by the presence of Chanda Vastev, Steve Levine and Johan Vasily Abrudin, who received their honorary awards today, and also to Phil Dudridge for providing such an enlightening and thought-provoking keynote speech. The institution has worked with all the awardees and the speaker for a number of years, and it would be hard to find more vociferous advocates of our work. I wonder just how many of the students here today, when they walked into the institution on that first day to start their programs, would have any idea of the fantastic experience that graduation day is. I, for one, never tire of watching the pride and pleasure on the faces of those receiving awards and those who are here to support them. Today is my favourite day of the year in the institution, as we see students graduating with awards who are either entering full-time employment for the first time or completing a programme whilst in employment to further their expertise, knowledge and self-development. This gives us a true sense of lifelong learning, and it is this diverse mix of programmes and students from which we gain so much pleasure in the faculty. Being both flexible in our approach and accessible to all, we've identified niches and partners that enrich the environment in which we work. Today in your midst are industrial partners, awarding bodies, guest speakers and others who have helped us in the quest for new and exciting quality programmes which capture the imagination of students and enable them to develop personally. This academic year has again been a challenging one for the staff in the faculty, who've had to balance academic work and administration with the demands of a changing higher education environment. And without a strong team, I could not have managed this year. As Andrew Carnegie said about teamwork, teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments towards organisational objectives. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. All of the staff have worked tirelessly as a team and succeeded in meeting both our student needs and delivering a range of activities to support the innovative nature of our unique business-facing offer. I cannot single anyone out, as the teaching team, the skills team, the management team, those undertaking research, the administration staff, the registrars, PAs and the support services, including the technicians and the campus caretaking, cleaning and refectory staff, all contribute to making the wide range of education and support functions making up our university community. I'm sure that you will join me in thanking everyone in the faculty and university who has made your time here enjoyable and successful, but also to those who have put so much effort into making today such a special occasion. The rewards this year have been many. We are pleased to see students graduating at our 5 faculty ceremonies on a full range of courses from foundation degrees to PhDs. The development of these programmes has strengthened our links with industry and in many cases has given those in industry without qualifications a chance to gain a degree through a work-based learning process. We have helped a number of students to work on projects within the industry, which has enabled many of them to not only enhance their career prospects, but to gain employment with many of the companies involved. This kind of activity drives our employability mission in the university. This year we have been working on some extremely innovative new programmes with many of our partners here today, forging strong links with a range of companies and businesses to improve access to education at all levels and to uphold our institutional goals while ensuring we remain outward-facing. It is clear, however, that our job will be made so much harder without the assistance of the families and friends of the students who provide such a great deal of support during their programmes of study. I am sure that you will join with me on behalf of the students in thanking their families and friends for their contribution to this momentous occasion. To conclude, I would just like to say a few words to those seeking their fortune in the production, new media, the arts, engineering and design areas. Mary Kay Ash said, "Don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. So don't be afraid to come forward with ideas, believe in yourself, and make sure that you are heard, and above all, make your mark. So go out there and join countless other successes from this faculty, and most importantly, make that difference. Many congratulations to you all, and I wish you well in your chosen careers. And please keep in touch and let us know how you're getting on. I hope you'll all join us for light refreshments in the university after this ceremony, and now I declare this degree congregation and awards ceremony closed.